record.
For our project, we will be discussing congruent triangles in both Euclidean and taxicab geometry. In case you need a refresher, Euclidean geometry is our normal geometry that you are most likely familiar with. It is the study of plane and solid figures on the basis of axioms, whereas taxicab geometry replaces the metric of Euclidean with its own metric. In this presentation, you will learn about congruent triangles in Euclidean geometry, and we will test these theories to see if they apply to taxicab geometry as well. Congruency means that two triangles have the same length and angles as each other. The first theory we will be going over is side angle side. In Euclidean geometry, if you have a triangle that has the same length and two sides, as well as one angle as another triangle, then the two are congruent. We know this because all angles added together in a triangle equal 180 degrees, so the third is forced to be the same. But does this property apply in taxicab geometry? If you said no, you are correct, and here is why.
So to find if this is accurate, we're gonna just test it out. So our first triangle here, we're gonna do, oh, that is actually incorrect. Okay, we're gonna do one, so this is 4, because if you count it taxicab, you go over 2 and up 2, so that's 4. And then over 4, let's do this right, there we go. Okay, so on our sides we have 4, 4, and 4, and this is a right angle. So we have a side angle and side. So now we can do the same side angle side over here. Okay, we can do a 4, 4, and a right angle again. However, this side would equal 8. So these are not the same triangle, even though they still have two sides that are equal on both triangles and an angle. So that shows that in taxicab, it's not accurate, and we cannot use this theorem because of how we can count over and down, as opposed to Euclidean, where you cannot do that, and you use the Pythagorean theorem instead. So that is why we cannot use side angle side for taxicab.
The second theory we will be going over is side, side, side. This theory states that if two triangles have 3 alike sides, then they are congruent. If all the sides are the same, then the angles of the triangle will have to be the same as well, because there's only one triangle it could make. Whereas in taxicab, the angles can be different degrees even if the sides are congruent.
So for this one, we're gonna draw out these triangles. So here we're gonna go up 3 and over 1. And then you can go over 2 and down 2. And then this is over 3 and up 1. And so these are all, again, 4, 4, and 4. Then we can do the same idea over here. And this is up 2 and over 2, so 4, 4, and 4. Again, we can see in taxicab, these both have the same equal sides in both triangles. However, if we were to overlay the triangles, they're clearly not congruent and they're not the same triangle. This again is like with the side angle side example, we can go over and up and over and up because you have to go along the squares for taxicab. So again, it is not applicable to taxicab because of that reason.
The third theory we will be going over is angle side angle. This theory states that if two triangles have the same angles and one side, then they are congruent, because if you have two matching angles plus a matching side, then there is only 1 degree that the unidentified angle could be.
So again, for this example, we're going to do the triangle that looks like this with the 90 degrees here, and then these would be 45-degree angles, and we have 4, 4, 4. And then again, we can do the triangle that looks like this. With a 4 and a 4, a right angle, and a 45-degree. Again, when we look at this, same thing as the last two, same idea, is that we have the angle, two angles that match up and are congruent, and a side, however, we have different triangles, and this one would be 8 diagonally, which is not the same triangle for the exact same idea as the other 2 points that we had.
Our last theory that we will be talking about today is side angle, side angle, side, which is the only theory that is applicable in taxicab geometry. Because all 3 sides have to be the same and 2 angles do, which means that the triangles have to be the same triangle no matter what.
So an example of this, we can just basically draw out a triangle. So if you had one that was like 3 down, oh, okay, that was bad. Let me if we had 3, 2, then 1, 2, 5, and you had this angle and this angle, the only way that you could possibly get to this angle is if you had this exact same formation in taxicab, because there's no other way. So this is the only other option to get to have these, all 5 of these things to match. So yes, that is our presentation on taxicab and congruency and triangles. We hope that your takeaways were that the only way you can use a taxicab in triangles is with side angle, side angle, side, because of the way that you have to count with taxicabs. There's multiple ways to get the same triangles that have the same sides and same angles, except for if you do side angle, side angle, side. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and let us know if you have any questions.